Hey ladies, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kirsten. I'm coming to you guys today with a new video. This video is going to be a little different than what I've previously done on my channel. This is actually going to be my top 3 eyeshadow palettes. So if you guys want to see what 3 I'm talking about, continue watching. Hey ladies, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right on into this. So the first palette I'm going to be talking to you guys about happens to be the NYX Butt Naked Turn the Other Cheek palette. And the reason why this is in my top 3 is because everything that I need is in this palette. Just by first opening the palette, you have, of course, your mirror, which is really nice because it's nice and large. And then you also have 8 matte eyeshadows and 7 shimmer eyeshadows. And as you guys can also see is that they range kind of roughly in the same category of nudes as far as your mattes and your shimmers go. I love this because this palette is very pigmented and a little goes a long way. Not only is it very pigmented, it is super affordable and it is also long lasting. And when I say affordable, I think I paid maybe $12 for this whole entire palette. And I've never, as you guys can see, I slide that right out. I've never been able to get my hands on multiple, I'm gonna say multiple eyeshadows, blushes, and illuminators for $12. So that's another nice thing about this. As you guys saw, I did slide out the back half of the palette, and this is where my blush and my illuminators are. There are 4 blushes, as you guys can see, and 3 illuminators, which you guys kind of or maybe can or maybe can't see is the fact that there are 2 matte eyeshadows and 2 shimmer why did I say eyeshadows? My accent came out. 4, y'all know what I'm trying to say, blush. And then there are 3 illuminators, which range from darkest to lightest. The second eyeshadow palette I'm going to be talking about is from Makeup Revolution. This was kind of like my holy grail. As you guys can see, there's no more writing on it. When I first got this palette kind of replaced the NYX Butt Naked palette, just because I prefer matte shadows, and everything or every color that's in this palette is matte. So there you go. Love the mirror, super big. And I love the size of this palette compared to the last palette, which I just talked to you guys about, which was the NYX palette, just because this one is a little bit more discreet. As you guys can see, there are a variety of eyeshadows, and they are all 100% matte, ranging from lightest nude to your darkest nude. And as you guys can see, it's kind of a reoccurring theme here. I love nudes and I love matte at that. So that's another reason why I love this palette. Not only that, this palette is long lasting, which I said before in the previous palette. It is professional quality grade. And when I say professional quality grade is, it's kind of like on their packaging it says professional eyeshadows, but when I'm going to say professional is, I say professional meaning that I'm not going to put it on one day and it's going to look great within the first couple hours, and then, you know, when you get ready to take it off, okay, it works that one day, but then the next day I go and use it and it doesn't work. So that's what I mean by professional. Another thing is with this palette is that it is affordable. These palettes range from, I believe, $12 to $15, and I've seen them in Ulta. It's kind of in the cut. I think it's normally like in between 2 major brands like CoverGirl and L'Oreal or something like that. You guys know what I'm saying, but it's like a little tiny little sliver in that area. And I say love this palette because 100% matte. So the last palette I have to talk about is the Coastal Scents 88 palette. I love this palette because I recently just got it, maybe like 2 weeks ago. It was around Halloween time, and I had intentions of doing a bunch of Halloween looks, just because, as you guys can see, variety of colors, love, 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 love. Only thing is that I only use like these 3 rows right there, those three, and then maybe that red right there at the bottom. That's about it. I haven't really gotten too much in depth with this palette because I am not a bright colored person, I guess, or that's bad. Bright eyeshadow person. There we go. There are certain colors that I just kind of stick with and certain colors that I kind of go to kind of with the whole matte thing. I don't really use a whole lot of shimmers, so I stick with a bunch of matte colors within this palette. Only thing is that I don't really care for is the fact that this mirror is super tiny compared to the others. I mean, I know they can't cover up the whole entire window because you're trying to give some room for your what are they called? Tools. There we go. But it would just be nice if I could have a mirror that's kind of roughly the same size as the palette. I like this palette because a little goes a long way as far as pigment. I know I said the other two are very pigmented, but that's like on a scale of like 1 to 10 being pigment. I mean, like those are like an 8 and this is like a 12. What I mean by that is that a little bit on your brush will go a long way. So just be careful if you guys do decide to use this palette, because especially when you're getting into your more brighter colors on this side of the palette, it'll definitely pick up. And if you're using, kind of like when you're using black with your eyeshadow and smoking it out, you can't really undo it. So just be mindful when you're using that palette. Another thing is that with this palette, I love it because long lasting. There are matte and shimmer eyeshadows in this palette. But then also, it's affordable, at least what I consider to be affordable. I think it's about $23 on the Coastal Scents website, but I will put all links to all three of them down below in the description box, or I will provide alternative links of where I've actually purchased them from. So as you guys can see, those are kind of the top 3 eyeshadow palettes that I kind of go to whenever I am trying to either hurry up, want something for a more dramatic look, or then I want something for a more subtle look. So that's kind of how I arrange the top 3. If there's anything that I missed in this video, put it down below and I will respond to you guys as soon as I can.